Get ready for a new episode of Call Me Crazy with Shiri Gabriel.
Sometimes I wake up to all the noise and everything that is happening surrounding Israel, the Jewish people, the Palestinian conflict. And honestly, I feel like I'm living in a movie because things seem to be so unreal, so unrealistic that sometimes I wonder, is this a movie? Is this something that is being produced by, in this case, evil people, ignorant people? I don't know. I don't know. And I think that because people are so uneducated, they are so ignorant, and of course, there's really truly evil people out there. I just want to take a different and fresh perspective to this conflict, the Jewish history. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to explore how Jewish history resembles a Marvel movie. Because I think that if I put it in these terms, maybe people who are not well educated will be able to relate a little bit better. And so, I'm going to talk about this history, the Jewish history, resembling a Marvel movie, with the Jewish people as the enduring heroes, of course. But before we dive into this timeline and this script and this movie, I just want to share something very personal. After October 7th, and over the last really few months, I have been feeling extremely helpless, hopeless, and the events unfolding now in the West and outside of Israel have been deeply troubling to me. Seeing people who choose to support Hamas, a terrorist organization, while condemning Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East, is just disheartening to say the least and disturbing. um, I realize that this is unfortunately a core part of the Jewish people's existence. It is enduring the hatred of others. That's what has been happening over the last 3,000 years. And this is at the core of our existence. And this is why we probably exist. And this is why we come out stronger every single time. So, enduring this hatred, the hatred of others, and now the world towards Israel and towards the Jews. So, this anti Semitism and anti Zionism have been constant through our history as the Jewish people. Yet, just like in the Marvel movies, we have always survived and we will continue to survive. So let's look at Act One, if you want to call it that, the ancient superpowers, as I call it. So our history actually began in ancient times with the Jewish people establishing themselves in the land of Israel. Yes, but like every superhero, they faced so many different foes. So let's bring up the Egyptian Empire around 1700 BCE. The Israelites found themselves in Egypt, and after years of slavery, they made a dramatic escape in an event that we all know today as the Exodus, Passover. So think of Moses as the original superhero leading his people to freedom. Next, the Assyrian Empire. Fast forward to the 8th century BCE, when the Assyrians conquered the northern kingdom of Israel. It was a dark time, but the southern kingdom of Judah held strong like a beacon of hope. Next, enter the Babylonian Empire. In 586 BCE, Jerusalem fell. The temple was destroyed and the Jewish people were exiled. But even in Babylon, they maintained their identity and faith, ready for the next chapter like true heroes. So comes Act Two, the rebuilding and resistance. So in 538 BCE, the Persian Empire emerged as a game changer. Under King Cyrus the Great, the Jewish exiles were allowed to return to their homeland and rebuild the temple. It was like a superhero regrouping after a major defeat. So the Marvel team comes together yet again. But the peace didn't last. The Greek Empire, led by Alexander the Great, conquered the region in 332 BCE. The subsequent Hellenistic influence threatened Jewish traditions, but heroes like the Maccabees rose to the challenge, leading to the miraculous events of Hanukkah. Then came the Roman Empire in 63 BCE. Rome took control and the Jewish faced immense persecution. The destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE was a devastating blow. Yet, like a true superhero saga, the Jewish people adapted, focusing on the Torah and communal life. Enter Act 3, surviving through the ages. So the fall of Rome led to the Byzantine Empire's rule over Israel, followed by the Islamic Caliphates, if that's how you pronounce it. Each regime brought its own challenges, but the Jewish spirit remained unbroken. During the Crusades, starting in 1096, European Christians sought to reclaim the Holy Land. The Jewish communities in Israel and across Europe faced massacres and forced conversions, yet the resilience shone through. Enter the Ottoman Empire in 1517, providing a relatively stable period for the Jews in the region. They built communities, schools, and synagogues, laying the groundwork for future generations. Act 4, the modern era. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Zionist movement emerged, envisioning a return to the ancestral homeland, to the ancestral homeland, to the ancestral homeland of the Jews. The struggle culminated in the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, a triumphant moment to the grand finale of a superhero epic. So we thought it was going to be the grand finale, but post-1948, the young nation faced immediate challenges from neighboring states, but with determination and unity, Israel not only survived, but thrived, becoming a beacon of innovation and democracy in the region. October 7th happened. And I'm not going to go through the events of October 7th and post-October 7th and what is happening right now in the West. This is our next chapter. And so Jewish history is like the eternal flame, because Jewish history is a testament to the power of resilience and faith. Like the superheroes in our favorite Marvel movie, the Jewish people have faced incredible odds and emerged victorious time and time and again and again. And our story continues to inspire, reminding us the true heroism, because this heroism lies in perseverance, unity, and our spirit. So today, the Jewish people have a homeland. We have a homeland to return to, a place of refuge and strength, the state of Israel, our homeland. It's a sanctuary where we can rebuild and thrive despite all the past and present adversities. So as we marvel through our journey, let's not forget the lesson that it teaches us all. When darkness and evil strike in the West or everywhere else, those without a sanctuary, like the Jews who have Israel, we must stand strong and endure and fight against all evil. Our history is a beacon illuminating this path of resilience and hope for everyone facing oppression. Now, I really hope that people choose to be on the right side of history, because if they don't, just like in the Marvel universe, they will be condemned and judged. Standing with justice, democracy, and humanity is not just a choice, but it's a responsibility. So what is happening today in the world and what is happening to the West, it is something that it repeats throughout history. As I said, as Jews, we have a homeland to return to and to go back to and seek refuge. But what about everyone else? What about all of you living in the West when we have evil trying to destroy the West? Because it's not just anymore about the Jewish history, because we are used to it. We almost expect it. As I said before, this is part of what makes us strong, of our existence. But what about you? Everyone else in the West? Are you going to let evil win? Or are you going to stand strong? Are you going to get educated? And are you going to be on the right side of history? Because if you don't have the refuge. You don't have the asylum of the land of Israel to return to, like as the Jews have. Thank you for listening to this episode. And I just want to remind you that the true superpowers here are perseverance, our unity, and the courage to stand against all odds and against all evil.
This has been another episode of Call Me Crazy with Shiri Gabriel. Make sure to join in next week for a new episode, and if you would like to contact Miss Gabriel about speaking or training at your next conference, function, or event, visit shiri.coach.